listening to the Walt's World Podcast. Join your hosts, John and Kaylee, as they banter about all things Disney, including Disney parks, resorts, dining, fashion, and movies. They'll keep you up to date with the latest Disney news and rumors, and they'll share their best tips and insight to make sure you have the best Disney vacation possible. So to all who tune into this happy place, welcome. It's the Walt's World Podcast.
Hey friends, it's October the 30th, 2018, and this is episode number 27 of the Walt's World Podcast. I'm John, and with me, as she is every single week, my awesome, talented friend, Kaylee.
Hello, everyone.
See what I did there, Kaylee? This is literally the 6th or 7th time we've done the intro for everyone because Kaylee doesn't think I did it well enough today, so I hope it was well enough this time, Kaylee.
Something about it just wasn't working for me the other
My
times.
awesome, talented friend. Not co-host because...
But then it sounds weird if you don't say, I'm your host, John. I don't know.
Maybe it's assumed I'm the host. Like, I'm starting it out, like... Because we're equals. We're both hosts, which would make us co-hosts. Like, I'm your co-host, John. Doesn't sound right? I don't know. Anyways, we're starting a new series, Overrated, Underrated. And we're just going to kind of like break down different things around Disney World, talk about whether we think they're overrated or underrated, or maybe they're rated correctly. I don't know. But we're going to start in the Magic Kingdom. We're going to work our way around the Magic Kingdom to the different lands of the Magic Kingdom. And this week, we're going to focus on Tomorrowland. We're going to talk rides and attractions. We're going to talk about food on another episode.
What is the middle ground? Because some things aren't necessarily overrated or underrated. They're just there.
I think that if you can't just automatically say, yeah, that's overrated, or, oh, that's completely underrated, I feel like then it's in the middle ground.
Okay.
I know you're going to say one specific attraction is extremely overrated.
Oh, extremely, 100% overrated.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it's rated just perfect. It's fine.
No,
it's not. It's not hyped. It's not too hyped. It's not too underhyped.
I mean, it's definitely not underrated. That's for sure. That's what I'm asking.
Anyways, let's start. Let's do alphabetical order. How about we do that? Alphabetical order. Some type of sense to this program. Let's start with the Astro Orbiter, the Orbiter of Death, that I like to call it. It's there in Tomorrowland. It is the highest point there in Tomorrowland. You see it orbiting above you when you're at the lunching pad, which I don't know why you would be there eating.
The lunching pad?
Yeah, it's a little quick service underneath the People Mover and the Astro Orbiter.
I didn't know that's what its name was.
The lunching pad, not launching pad. Lunching pad.
Oh. I have mixed feelings about this Astro Orbiter because I think it's really cool, especially if you ride it at night. It's a little scary. It's a little rickety.
It's a death trap.
Because it's kind of old. But I think it's really cool to ride at night. I don't know. I think it's kind of underrated. I feel like more people need to experience it during the fireworks. That's one of the best times I rode it is during Happily Ever After. It's really cool, and it gives you such a nice view of the whole park.
I haven't ridden it in a very, very long time. But I remember when I did ride it, I was afraid of, one, getting tetanus, two, it coming unhinged and flying over into the Buzz Lightyear area or something.
That wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
It doesn't even go that fast for it to become unhinged.
Plus, it's if it's a hot summer day, it's like you're spinning on the surface of the sun.
That's why you don't ride it during the day. You ride it at night. It's really good at night.
There's always a long wait for it. Have you ever noticed, there's always a really long wait because you have to go up an elevator and all that jazz.
And also, they try to fit 2 adults in the thing. It's a little tight. Make sure you're riding it with somebody that you want to be on top of because it's a little tight. Maybe an adult and a kid, which I'm assuming is the purpose of this ride. But for all of the adult Disney lovers out there, maybe like do 2 separate.
Together. Cheddar Biscuits and I should not ride that together, bobsled style.
Nah.
I think we should now. I'm going to.
Who's going to be the big spoon?
Oh, me, duh. Obviously. I'm taller.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, the wait is always pretty long, which is kind of annoying. But it's because the area up there, I feel like, is so tiny. Like the line that you get in as soon as you get off the elevator is so tiny. Mm-hmm. And then you just get right on the ride. So they have to kind of like make the queue downstairs. Mm-hmm. So then you're kind of wrapping around in the queue downstairs and waiting for the elevator to go up. And then you get up there and the queue's still really small. So
yeah. I think that it's perfectly rated as a death trap. People know that, like, unless you're just like a diehard Astro Orbiter fan, I think people realize that, you know, I'm not going to ride it. So I think it's kind of not overrated or underrated. I think it's just kind of, I'm going to give it another shot though. We're going over Thanksgiving. I will ride it at night and then I will make my determination better then. But for now, I'm going with, it's perfectly rated. Just, it's not over or under.
Okay. Moving on.
What did you say? Oh, underrated?
Yeah, I already said my answer. It shows how much you listen.
I wanted to make sure I heard you clearly. Jeez. Louise. Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin. This is, it's a fun ride. It's a ride that kids love because they can ride it and shoot and spin. And I always end up getting in an argument with Krista, my wife, somehow on there, that I'm always being accused of spinning it so that she can't shoot the correct spots. That's what always ends up happening when we ride it.
There's spots on both sides.
Yeah, but there's certain spots you want to hit to be able to get Galactic Hero.
Well, I don't know any of the tricks. I've never gotten Galactic Hero.
Well,
so
it's not
I
that
suck
hard.
at like any sort of like shooting games like that. Like I love them because I think they're fun. Yeah. But Toy Story Mania, Buzz Lightyear, like it's just, I'm not good at it. Like, do not expect me to get a high score. But it's still fun and I still like to ride them. So I'm not like a sore loser about it.
The wait is always pretty long, except unless it's like during the fireworks or a parade.
I think it's totally overrated.
Oh, wow.
Especially because I rode the one in Disneyland and it's way better. I just feel like it could use a little bit of like an update.
Amen.
Maybe.
It desperately needs an update. Why is it even there? We have a Toy Story Land. Why is it still there in Magic Kingdom?
Because when they're building Magic Kingdom, they didn't think that 50 years later they were going to be building Toy Story Land.
Yeah, but they could change something now about it. Anyways, it needs updating.
Yeah, but I don't want the whole park to be under construction. It already makes me so mad how much construction is going on around there.
The queue feels dirty. Do you not feel like when you walk in,
I feel like I'm
dirty.
leaving with a disease for sure. It's never been cleaned.
There's always a smell. Everything's always wet. Have you ever noticed the floor's wet in there?
It literally is always wet and muggy.
Yes.
There's like a musk when you walk in. It's like the air suddenly got thicker.
Yeah, and instead of those like nice Disney air fresheners that smell amazing, it's like they picked the Stinky Pete air freshener and put it in there.
They didn't even pick an air freshener. They just said, the people will create the air.
They'll create the air
Which
freshener.
they did.
Yeah. And I think it feels dirty too because all those, like in the room after the merge point, before you get on the ride where Buzz is talking to you, it looks like everything's buttons, like at the control panels. And you know, everyone's touching those and pushing on them.
Oh, I know.
And you're just,
it freaks me out. And they're like all duct taped together.
Yeah, there was so much duct tape the last time we rode it.
Yeah.
It's completely overrated. So overrated. So overrated. You can't see the laser.
I think it's such a waste of a fast pass too.
Mm-hmm. If you're on it and you're shooting, you can't find you don't know which one is your little red dot showing up. Like, that's really hard to figure that out as well.
Yeah, it definitely needs some help.
Yeah, over or rated We're going to get so much backlash from this episode. I'm very excited about it. Overrated. Next, let's go to what would be the next one? Monsters? Space Monsters.
Carousel Progress?
Oh, yeah, let's do that one. Let's make our way around.
Aren't we doing alphabetical order?
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's considered Walt Disney's Carousel Progress, so it's W.
Oh, okay. Well, nobody says Walt Disney's Carousel Progress. They just say the Carousel Progress.
Let's do Carousel Progress then. So next, let's move over to the Carousel Progress, even though it's considered to be called Walt Disney's Carousel Progress. So therefore, it starts with a W. No one, as Kaylee pointed out to me earlier, no one calls it the Walt Disney Carousel Progress, but I'm going to now. The Carousel Progress, Kaylee. I feel like you love this ride. I feel like you love it.
I love the Carousel Progress.
Wait, do you really? I was being facetious, but...
Oh, no, I love it. It's seriously underrated. It's such a nice, like, relaxing thing to be able to do in the middle of your day. And it's really nostalgic, honestly. I mean, I think all of Walt's originals are just very nostalgic, and I would hate to ever see it go. And it's also just very unique to, like, the parks in general. Like, there's really no other ride or show or anything that does the same things that this does. So I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's underrated. There's never a wait for it, which is great too. So if you are kind of in the middle of the day and just kind of wanting to rest a little bit, you never have to wait for it. So I think that's nice. And yeah, it's just the right amount of time. The song's very catchy. I love it. Highly underrated.
I agree completely. I love the Carousel Progress, Walt Disney's Carousel Progress. It is 21 minutes long in the air conditioning, in padded seats. You can't beat that, first of all. Second of all, that music, that song is so catchy. So catchy. It'll be stuck in your head the rest of the day. And like you said, the thing about it that makes it so special to me is like sitting there watching this, knowing that literally Walt Disney touched this ride. Like he had his hand in it. He helped create this ride. And in its time, and he put it, it came to the World's Fair, the New York World's Fair in 64 and 65. And at that time, you got to think about like this spinning movement where the music like continued from scene to scene, like flawlessly, you know, like with the animatronics and all the extra little bells and whistles and things that happen in the show, was like state of the art, unheard of for its time.
Yeah, it was very ahead of its time. And that's why I love it.
I still can't figure out how they get the music to just like be completely in sync. Like it still boggles my mind to know how like they do that from scene to scene without it, like how they have everything timed exactly perfect.
Right.
And then when it moved to the parks in 75, it's been there ever since. And I've heard rumors, there's been rumors all the time about it changing or updating or putting in a new voiceover and things like that. But it's perfect the way it is. It's completely underrated. People do not appreciate this ride. And if we don't appreciate it, they're going to do something with it. They're going to get rid of it.
Yeah. And if they do that, I will be enraged.
It would be an uprising, I believe, for that ride.
There would be a straight up revolt happening.
So underrated from both of us. Carousel Progress. Good call. Next, let's go back over towards the purple wall and talk about Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. I love this. I love it too. I love it. Like, some people think it's the worst thing Disney's ever done, which is just stupid to me. I think that's ridiculous. The worst thing Disney's ever done is the movie Bolt. That's the worst thing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't even get me started on that. Bolt
you would not believe
the worst thing that Disney's ever done.
As an aside, you would not believe how much hate I've gotten for talking crap about Bolt.
Good. It's much deserved. Bolt is a very good movie.
So I'm going to rewatch that as soon as possible so that I can have a better grip of that movie. But yeah, I've gotten so much hate from that, from definitely from one of our listeners. His name's Haim. I'm sorry, man, but Bolt is not a good movie.
Haim?
Yep. So Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. The whole idea behind it is you're going into the monster world so that they can get our laughs to help power Monstropolis. And so it's some of that technology like they use with Turtle Talk with Crush, where they can interact with you on the screen. The monster interacts with you and that kind of thing. And so there's a lot of audience participation in it.
How does that work? Is there a cast member like with a video camera? Like I just don't understand how like because I just don't get it. It blows my mind.
I have
how
no
they
idea.
do that, because each show is different. I mean, yeah, like a lot of them do tell the same jokes or whatever, but when it comes to like the interactions, like it's personalized to the guests that are in the audience. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have no clue. And part of me doesn't want to know because I kind of want to have that magic still of like...
I think there has to be like some sort of camera
yeah.
looking and like a cast member making jokes. Like, come on,
yeah.
that's probably the most realistic thing, but...
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. That's exactly what it is. But I want to believe they're actually there talking to us.
Oh, the monsters. Yeah.
But it's hilarious. The jokes are I think they're hilarious jokes, personally.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're hilarious. I think what makes them hilarious is how corny they are and how like cheesy they are. But I love the show.
Yeah, there's always that one guy that they always pick on. This guy.
Yeah, yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah. There's always someone treating people to churros, and yeah.
Right.
It's so much fun, and it's a great treat trail at Halloween, by the way. That's one of the best treat trails there is. They loaded us up on so much candy. We didn't have to go anywhere else. Like, we didn't have any more bag room. They gave us so much.
That's crazy.
The only thing I don't like about it is it feels like it takes forever to get in there. Like you're waiting for a long time to get into the show space.
Well, because the show, you're waiting for the last show to get out.
I know.
How long does a show last?
I don't know.
That's why it feels that long, is because you're waiting for the show. But I do agree. The wait does feel a little bit long.
Now the pre-show they show on the little TV screens is hilarious.
Yeah.
And it helps the time pass better. But it does feel like it takes forever to get in there. But at least it's in the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is in the air conditioning, which is nice. I think Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is completely underrated. I think it's great. I love Monsters Inc. It's a cute little show the whole family can watch.
Yeah. Monsters Inc. 100% underrated. I don't think it belongs in Tomorrowland. I don't think it fits at the Magic Kingdom. I think it needs to be moved to Hollywood Studios and take over the space that is, spoiler alert, that is the Little Mermaid show, Journey, the Little Mermaid live action show. That's horrible. It needs to take over that space. It belongs there more than it belongs at Magic Kingdom, especially with the presence of Mike and Sully going to be at Hollywood Studios coming in the next several months. As an aside, I don't think we should expect that Little Mermaid ride to stay around, or the Little Mermaid show to stay around a whole heck of a lot longer. Anyways, so Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, underrated from both of us. Of course, with all these, let us know what you guys think about these, underrated, overrated. We'll be sharing some stuff on our story, and we'll post, and we want you guys to comment and let us know what you think is and isn't overrated and underrated with Tomorrowland stuff. So play along with us at home. Take home Walt's World podcast game for ages 6 and up. Next up, thanks for your pity laughter, Kaylee. Appreciate it. Next up, Space Mountain.
It's always pity laughter.
It's always pity laughter. Okay, that wasn't needed. That's hurtful. Space Mountain.
I think
no comment? Okay.
I mean, I think it's just fine right where it is. I don't think that people hype it up to the point of it being overrated, and I don't think that nobody rides it to where it's underrated. It's not like my favorite ride ever, but I mean, I think it's fine just where it's at. I don't see people like, I mean, I guess maybe people do, but I don't see people going like crazy over it, like hyping it up so much to where I would feel like it's overrated. I think it's good where it's at. I like to ride it. It's fun. It's in the dark. It's a little jerky. It's a little rickety. Probably could use a little updating.
Amen.
But take it for what it is. I like it.
Okay. All right, people. Let's have some real talk here for a second. Space Mountain is overrated. Overrated. It's rickety. It's old. There's no theming. There's none. There's no backstory. There's no story for it. Like, if you're looking on the Walt Disney World website, it says, zoom through the galaxy, journey throughout the cosmos to the furthest reaches of the galaxy and back. Navigate a shadowy neon-lit space station and make your way to a bustling control tower, passing a constellation of glowing astronaut training stations along the way. Inside a futuristic launch pad, board a sleek rocket-shaped vehicle and prepare yourself for a high-flying adventure into deep space.
Where is any of that?
None of
the
that
ride
happens.
Is what I want to know.
None of that happens. It's so over. People think that this ride is the greatest freaking ride, and it's not. It is not a good ride. It makes me nauseous every time. It gives me a headache. It gives me a headache every time I ride it now.
But we're just saying, like, overrated and underrated is how, like, much it's hyped up.
People
or
love
how
it
much
for
it's
no
not
reason.
talked about.
People love it.
People
for
do
no
not
reason.
hype it up that much. I think the
Kaylee.
people know that this ride is in need of a remodel.
Kaylee.
For sure.
People love this ride. There's a reason that it has a 120-minute wait, like, all the time.
Yeah, but that's not, I don't know. I just don't think that's, like...
It's not good. This was the first...
Makes it overrated because it has a long wait. It has a long wait because it's one of the only roller coasters there.
That's why it has a long wait. It's because it's so overrated and overhyped. People think that it's the greatest thing in the world.
I mean, it kind of was one of the best things at the parks for a while there.
Yeah,
so,
in the 70s. Before cell
You're
phones.
just salty because you get
virtual
sick on
reality.
It, whatever.
I used to love that ride. It was the very first roller coaster I ever rode, ever. And I rode it by myself. None of my family ride roller coasters. But this was like when I was like 12. It's the first roller coaster I ever rode in my entire life, and I rode it by myself. Somehow I got the gumption up to go ride it by myself in the dark. And I loved it. But to say that like it's like the greatest ride, oh gosh, you have to ride it. If you don't ride it when you go to Disney World, you've not had a great trip. Like, some people think that.
I don't know.
It's overrated. Overrated. I totally skipped one. Obviously don't know my alphabet. The People Mover. Technically, Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. So technically it starts with a T, so we're still okay. But the People Mover. Kaylee, why don't I go first here? Would you like you go first? You go first on the People Mover.
Completely overrated. And John, I swear, if you say that this is not overrated, you can still like it and say that it's overrated. But you know
But you're
that
saying
it is overrated.
You're saying it's overrated because you hate it.
Probably the most overrated ride or attraction or whatever you want to call it, because it's not even a ride. And I get so mad over it because people want to say that it's a ride and it's not. It's disgusting. It's dirty. It smells like gasoline.
It doesn't smell like gasoline. That's from the
I don't like
That's
it.
from the Speedway.
It's overrated. You know that it's overrated. If you say that it's not overrated, I'm quitting this podcast because you know it's overrated.
Well, we're looking for a new co-host who doesn't badmouth or backtalk. Send your applications to.
You know it's overrated. There's 1,000 billion shirts out there in the world that says "Meet me at the People Mover," whatever, something about the People Mover, and I'm throwing shade, whatever.
I'm here for the people watching. That's one of my favorite ones. There's all kinds of great People Mover shirts,
There are, but
and we love all of them.
that's how you know
in all
it's
their shops.
overrated. That's how you know it's overrated. Everybody wants to make it out to be this huge, iconic thing at Walt Disney World.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. What's iconic about it? First of all, is it overrated or is it underrated? Because I swear, if you say it's underrated, I'm literally
It's perfectly
gonna kill
rated.
you.
It's perfectly rated, actually. It's perfectly
John,
rated.
that's such a lie. He's lying. You know it's overrated.
I love it.
Yeah, you can still love it and admit that it's overrated. People hype the heck out of this stupid little track that just goes around and does nothing. It's boring. It's useless.
Oh my gosh.
It needs to go.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm just mad because you're lying and not being realistic.
I feel like you're going to be on the next Netflix series of How to Make a Murderer or how whatever that show is. Like you're going to murder the people mover.
No, I'm not. I just want you to admit that it's overrated. It's so overrated. You know it is. Just because you like it doesn't mean you can't admit that's overrated.
It's still one of my favorite rides in the entire park. But, oh my gosh, it's so hard to say it. It's so hard to say it. It is slightly, barely overrated.
It's overrated. Talk about people making a scene about not getting on this during their trip. People make a scene out of this. Like, why? Why? I'm seriously I'm like sweating because I'm so mad about this right now.
You haven't cared about anything else in this episode except for this one thing.
Yeah, because this is the one thing that just grinds my gears so much is people hyping up the people mover. Literally, people just use it to just sit down and relax. Like, people literally go on it to just sleep. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
You just want to sleep on the attraction?
Well,
Why are you at Walt Disney World?
it is a very smooth ride.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah. What? You can
It's
high five
definitely not
people as you're
smooth.
going by.
No.
Yeah, I high five people
Really
on that
cool.
ride all the time. Look, it is slightly overrated. People do make a big deal out of it. And it's one of those things, like, I think in general, our culture makes a big deal out of things if other people are making a big deal out of things. Like, it just kind of grows and grows and grows and grows. But it is slightly overrated. It's still one of the greatest rides in the history of rides. I will still ride it every time. But it is slightly overrated, I will say. Yes, slightly. But just slightly.
Perfect. Thank you. I had to do that whole rant just to get you to say that when you knew it was the truth the whole time.
All right, so the last one is the Tomorrowland Speedway. The greatest source of destroying our ozone layer on the surface of this earth. Literally,
there's just like a huge hole in the ozone layer above.
how much of your hate for the people mover is caused by the disgusting exhaust from this ride?
It definitely adds to it. It doesn't help
okay.
it for sure.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's all you smell when you ride it, and it
is.
just kind of ruins
It
it.
is.
But I mean, honestly, the people mover just ruins itself too. So
But you never know who you're going to see. It's the perfect place for people watching. That's what it says.
why do you need a people watch on your vacation?
Because sometimes do you never just go and
I just
people
want
watch
everybody to know
when
that
you're at
John
Disney?
and Chris's vacations are revolved around people watching. They go and eat at what's that restaurant called? Not Columbia Harbor House.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I
are
always
you
get that
belittling
one
the
confused
Columbia
with
Harbor
the
House?
other one.
Why are you belittling the Columbia Harbor House right now?
Because yours and Chris's vacations revolve around people watching, because they literally go up top in the Columbia Harbor House and sit by the windows so they can people watch while they're eating. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I've never met people that sought out spots around the parks to people watch. It's very odd.
Have you ever just sat and watched people at Disney World? Like, just sat and watched people? Because
I'm not just going to go sit
You
on a
would
bench
see-
and waste my time staring at what
Oh,
people
but
do. No.
when you're tired and when you're eating, like, what else are you going to do? Just sit there and stare in each other's eyes?
No, have a conversation. What do you mean?
Like, you have conversations, but you can do it while you're like watching. There's some really, really, I'll call them interesting people at Disney World.
There's interesting people all over the world, yet
But,
I
like,
don't sit in specific locations while I'm
interesting.
dining to watch them.
Very interesting people at Disney World. Very interesting.
Gosh, it's just so funny to me. Like, that's like your main point for the Columbia Harbor House and the People Mover.
I love the Columbia,
it's just
Columbia
so you
Harbor
can
House.
watch people.
The Columbia Harbor House, one, has amazing quick service food that is different than your typical burgers and fries. Two, it's got great theming. And three, why not sit somewhere where you can look out over the Punzi bathrooms, which is a beautiful area, and see people like being freaking crazy. Let's just be blunt. There are some weirdos that walk around Disney World.
Don't be mean. People probably think you're weird.
I am.
I think you're weird right now
Yeah.
because you sit and watch people while you're eating.
Oh my gosh. I'm Kaylee. I'm going to sit here and keep my eyes down and not look around at anyone or anything.
I'm sorry. When I go to eat, I like to engage in conversations with the people I'm eating with and maybe like look at them while I'm having the conversation, not
can't you do
look
it all?
around at people and judge people.
I'm not judging people.
You're judging them. You
No,
just
I'm
called
not.
them weird. Why are they weird?
There's weird people in this world. I'm a weird
What
person.
makes them weird? Because they're doing something that's different than what you do?
You know how many kids I've seen lick things because I've been people watching?
That's not weird. That's just
That is
disgusting.
weird. That is weird. And the parents just like watching them do it. Like, yeah, Johnny, lick that, lick that. Well, what's that taste like? Let me lick it too. What's that tree taste like? What about that?
What is that
railing?
accent?
What's that
You
railing taste
have a
like,
country
Johnny?
accent, so you're making fun of yourself right now. I just want you to know.
Hey, Johnny, get over here. Lick this. Lick this railing right here. You can taste the magic.
Oh my god.
Like, what? You would be amazed the things you see when you just look up and look around. Enjoy the world around you. Take a moment.
Yeah, enjoy the world around you, sure.
Enjoy the world around you. All the weirdos.
All right. Well, we were talking about, we weren't even
Yeah.
talking about this. We were talking about the Speedway.
Because
So
you
let's go back to
started
that.
beating down the Columbia Harbor House. And Glenn's going to be upset at you. Glenn is going to be furious. Tomorrowland Speedway. It's the giant waste of space. It's a giant waste of space.
Yeah, it's trash. It's pretty much trash.
Just pave over top of it. I'd rather have like just a pavement, a sitting area.
Literally. Like a sitting area.
Put a bathroom on top of it. Anything's better than that huge hunk of space.
I like the idea of it. Like, sure, I think it's cute that the kids can act like they're driving cars, but it's very like old. Mm-hmm. So if they're going to do that, it definitely needs a refurbishment.
Which is coming.
You're
It
right.
is coming.
So I'm anxious to see what that's going to be like.
The electric cars are
But I
coming.
mean, and I wouldn't say that it's overrated or underrated. It's just kind of right where it's at. Nobody really talks about it at all, to be honest.
Just about how crappy it is, how horrible it smells,
Right.
the sound.
But I mean,
what about it screams Tomorrowland? It's more like 1980s land when there was a gas crisis. The Cold War. That's what it screams to me.
oh my God. The Cold War.
Like Gorbachev, Reagan. That's what it screams to me. It's so just, it's like you said, it's not overrated, it's not underrated, it's just blech.
Yeah, it's literally just there.
It is.
But it does get a long wait too, which just baffles me because I mean,
Kids.
I know why it does is because the kids want to ride it. They want to act like they're driving the car. I totally get it. But I mean, I know you're a parent and once you get on there with your kid, you're like, man, did I really just wait 45 minutes for this? Like,
And you're going to get whiplash. Like the stop and go, stop and go, stop
Yeah,
and go.
yeah,
and
yeah.
getting hit in the back by somebody. When they say, slow down, do not hit the people in front of you. Wham! Right in the back.
right. It's just all in all a bad experience. I don't recommend it, but
Horrible
take
experience.
that for what you will.
Horrible experience. Kaylee, should we talk about the purple wall as an attraction?
Oh, it's definitely an attraction, and it's very overrated.
Let's finalize this episode. Let's finish this episode off with a bang.
All right.
And let's talk purple wall. The last thing we'll talk about, purple wall, overrated or underrated?
Overrated, for sure.
Why? Why do you think so?
It's literally, it has become an attraction in itself. And all it is a painted wall that you can just take a picture in front of.
It's literally a wall.
It's literally a wall, and people go nuts for this. Like, people line up to take a picture in front of this wall.
We have.
I mean, yeah, we have. We're definitely not helping the cause in any sort of way. But, I mean, I think it's the Instagram community that kind of made this wall as famous as it is, because it's honestly as famous. They have its own account. It's crazy.
I wonder who the first person was to like say take a photo in front of it and like tag the purple wall. Like, I wonder who that person was, because they deserve to be like punched in the face.
No, I mean, I think it's cute. I like how they did the galaxy. It's cute. It's nice, I guess, to take a picture in front of. I mean, why not?
Why not?
But it's just, it's very overrated.
Okay. All right. I like your thought process there. For me, I think that it is very underrated. No, I'm kidding. It's overrated.
I was going to say, oh my God.
It's a wall that is purple.
I could literally paint the same wall in my house and take pictures of me in front of it every day and tag Magic Kingdom purple wall. And I would have billions of followers by now, because that's what attracts the masses, is the walls at Disney. It's crazy.
The Kaylee wall, and just put your face on it. I will say there's one wall at Disney World that I love. And if you're not following the beige wall on Instagram, you're missing a magical experience.
What is that?
At the beige wall on Instagram.
Who made that account? Was it Greg?
No, but it's another friend of ours who will remain nameless for the time being. We're gonna have them on in the future, but
where is it located?
Oh, where isn't it located, Kaylee? That's the question.
That's the thing. There's beige walls all over the place. So what's special about the beige wall?
Anywhere there's a beige wall, that account will be there.
That's like really creepy.
I tag the beige wall on everything, just because I love that account. There's literally like 3 posts. But it's
and one of them has Greg in it, which is why I assume that he was in on that.
No, you'll know he was involved in the creation, but he's not the creator. The creator of the beige wall, the special.
There's no creator.
It's the special.
Disney's the creator. They painted the wall. They just gave it a name.
I guess the beige wall creator will be the judge of that.
What the heck? I feel like it's like a cult. Like, all the walls, it's just like a cult.
I'm going to make...
Like, you're either in or you're out.
I'm going to buy just a beige t-shirt. Just a beige t-shirt and take a photo in front of the beige wall. A little inception.
Oh my gosh. We should have went to the Halloween party as the beige wall.
Oh my gosh.
We could have like painted our face beige.
Yeah. Yeah. My face is kind of beige as it is, I think. With a little hair in beige. That's the way I describe my face. Beige. On tests and stuff you fill out for the government where it's asking like your ethnic background, instead of like choose other and then put beige. Like
it's a movement, people. It's a movement.
Hashtag beige wall, everyone. That's happening. Go follow at the beige wall, because it's the greatest account you'll ever see in your life. It changes lives. It changed mine. I'm a new person. So,
everything you're saying tonight is making me want to punch myself in the face.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Yes. Just give in. Just punch yourself right in the face, Kaylee. Just give in. This episode
I'm about to quit.
Has gone off the rails, and I love it. So that's it for this episode. I promise every overrated, underrated will not be this stupid. I promise.
It wasn't stupid. It was informative.
Yeah, I think it was informative, super informative. That's what we're known for. Informative information.
Yeah, with a little bit of bias.
With a whole heck of a lot of bias.
Yeah.
So I hope you liked this episode. We're going to be doing these periodically throughout, weeks to come, and we'll talk food, we'll talk snacks, we'll talk character meet and greets, and other experiences around Disney coming up on Overrated and Underrated. I'm going to get a theme song because I feel like this just lends itself to an awesome grunge rock theme song. And next week is our Tuesday Treat episode. And with a special guest that we're not going to mention because we want it to be a secret. But they are awesome. And we are big fans of theirs. And
we're stoked. Nonetheless, it's going to be good.
We're hyped about it.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
We're accepting applications for Tuesday Treats. So
We
if
have
you
a
want to be
lot.
on our show and you're
We have a lot of Tuesday Treats that we got to get to. It's just scheduling with people. It's really hard to schedule things. So anyways, that's it for this episode. We look forward to you guys hearing next week's episode, Tuesday Treat, with a very, very special friend of ours. Make sure you head over to Instagram, shoot us a message. Let us know what you think's overrated and underrated in Tomorrowland. Were our thoughts spot on, or did you think we were a little crazy? Shoot us a message on Instagram at Walt's World Podcast, or shoot us an email, waltzworldpodcast@gmail.com. Also, head over to Etsy, get your Walt's World Podcast t-shirt. We have
tag us in the pictures.
Yes, short
we'll
sleeve,
repost them.
long sleeve, blue, black, gray, orange, gold, white. We got it all. We got every kind of color you would like. All sizes.
Tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your kids,
They're super soft.
tell your dog.
They ship really fast. And we're not making any profit on these shirts. I just want to put that out there. We are not making any profit on these at all. So we are trying to keep them as cheap as possible for you guys, but still give you guys really awesome t-shirts. So head over there and do that. So that's it. I'm John.
And I'm Kaylee. We'll see you next week.